G'day guys, James here from Landwatch Australia, and I'm here today to show you how to set up your 4G self-install system. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so what you'll receive at the post office is our big Landwatch box, solar panel rail and a solar panel. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Alright guys, so as we unbox this one, lots of cardboard which we can chuck straight on the fire. We've got a solar T-bar. We've got a camera inside here, lots and lots of cardboard, and we've got our main box. Gently remove your main box. So now we've got everything out of the box. Let's take a look inside. Opening up our main box, we've got a little gift package for everybody here. But the main thing that's inside here is all your installation nuts and bolts. We've got our solar mounting kit. Inside here, these are our solar clamps that hold the actual solar panel onto the bracket. We've got enough solar bolts here to make sure the bracket gets built, and also for the clamps, and then our washers and the Allen key to suit the bolts. We've then got our U-bolt kit. Now our U-bolt kit is to actually clamp our solar T-bar to your pole. It's designed for a 75mm pole. We've also got our box mount kit. Now in here we've got our channel nuts and our all thread with our flat plate. That goes onto the back of the actual box and clamps onto your 75mm pole as well. We've then got our 4G antennas and a Wi-Fi antenna. These aren't to be confused because on the boxes themselves are actually labels, because if we put the Wi-Fi on the 4G, obviously we won't get any signal. We've then got our battery mounting clamp. This is really important to keep that battery nice and secure. So that goes on top inside the box. We've got our Landwatch shifter, so you don't have to worry about bringing any tools out to do the install. Our keys to make sure the box is really secure. For you guys at home, it's a stubby cooler and a few cable ties just to clean the system up. Let's install this system now. So firstly, what you want to do is set up your box so that it can go onto your pole. On the back of the box is two pieces of uni-strut. Now this uni-strut is purposely designed to fit these channel nuts. So channel nut goes in, there's two holes here. That's perfectly spaced for a 75mm pole. Alright, so once they're all installed, you can take the nut and washer off and just put them next to the flat plate. The flat plate will be used once we're installing it on the pole. Alright, so step 2 is to put the antennas on. The antennas are labelled here 4G, Wi-Fi and 4G. On the antennas, there is actually 4G and Wi-Fi. We've got to make sure that these are installed correctly, because if you put a Wi-Fi antenna on the 4G port, you won't get good reception. Righto, step 3. Alright, so our single solar bracket, we use our solar mounting kit here. Open it up and grab our Allen key, the solar clamps and our solar bolts. Start with 4 of those and the 4 split washers. Alright, so we've got our T-bar here. Now making sure that your angle doesn't go upways, it does sit down flat, so your nut inserts, you can mount your clamps there. And then put a washer on a bolt and we do him up. So now they're done up, we grab our Allen key. So you just got to make sure these are nice and straight when we're doing these up. And nice and tight. So now we've got our solar bracket made, we need to use our clamps. So we'll grab out our last 4 solar bolts and our split washers. So these are designed to actually clamp down the solar panel. So we put this up here. Just loosely do it up, don't do it up all the way. We want a bit of freedom to be able to put the solar panel in later on. And we just 2 in. We don't want to put all 4 in just yet. Righto, so let's go grab our solar panel. Alright, so when you unpackage your solar panel, remember to take off this protective film. It's on all 4 sides. Looks quite ugly when you leave it on there. All right, now you've got your solar panel nice and clean. Let's lift him over the top and slide him up underneath these 2 here. So the way I like to kind of work out centre is you've got all these lines and you work your way in. These 2, the centre of that is your centre. Slide him across. Now if you don't have a good eye like me, you can use a tape measure. So once you've got that in, we grab our Allen key, lift him up nice and tight, and we do this up, and then we do the same for the bottom, and you're ready to put it up. Okay, so now you've got your solar panel all clamped up. You're almost ready to mount the solar panel up on the pole. Before we do that, let's quickly run through what we've got here. So we've got 2 flat plates and 2 U-bolts. Okay, so your U-bolt goes around your pole, and then our flat plate goes on to clamp up against the pole. We've also got this safety measure in place here. This piece goes inside the pole to hold the solar panel up there while you're trying to do the fiddly work of putting on the U-bolts. All right, so let's go through setting up a double solar bracket. So we've got everything laid out here for our double solar kit. I'll just run through exactly what's here and how to put it together. So first of all, we've got our solar rails on the outside. In the center here, we've got our solar T-piece, which clamps to your 75mm pole. We utilize the U-bolts and the flat plates to clamp that to the pole. We keep these solar rails together with our end cross members, and we've got 4 solar bolts per end. Then we've got our solar clamps. These go on top of our solar rails to clamp down to the solar panels. In the middle, we've got a solar T-piece. This holds both solar panels down together. And we've also got our Allen key to make sure we can do it all. Okay, let's go ahead now. We're going to build this double solar bracket. First things first, we've got everything laid out. We're going to start with our T and the solar rails. On the solar rails, we've got 2 sets of holes. This is so there's no left and right brackets. So just pick one. So we're going to go with the lower ones here today. We're going to actually get our solar T, and we're going to utilize our solar bolts with just a flat washer. We're going to just do all these finger tight for now. Okay, so that one's finger tight. Let's go ahead now and we'll put the second one on. Now what's really important here is to mount these the same way. We don't mount them upside down. We mount them with the flat piece so that our solar panels can sit on the flat. Okay, so now we've got our solar T mounted to the rails. It's all just finger tight. Let's go ahead and put a cross member on. Okay, so we've got our first cross member on. Let's make our way up to the other end and put our second cross member on. Okay, so now I've got all this finger tight. We want to go ahead now and make sure this is square and do them up with our Allen key. All right, so we've got all this nice and tight now. What we're going to do now is put our solar panels on. Before we do that, we just want to put one of the clamps in down the bottom so that we can actually hold the solar panel from sliding. So just do that up a couple of turns. Okay, so we're going to go mount our first solar panel. So we've got our solar clamps in position. We want to make sure this is nice and centered. So I utilize the white lines here and work your way into the center. These 2 here, make that into the center. Bring him down. Okay, so now we've got our first solar panel down. Just finger tight the clamps down the bottom. This is our T clamp, okay? So this holds 2 solar panels. This piece here is the spacer between the 2 solar panels. So it actually goes this way. We do these ones up finger tight as well. This will space the second solar panel nicely. All right, let's grab our second solar panel. Okay, so what's really important with your double solar panel is that we're going to be wiring these one up in series. So we want to make sure that our leads are both on the same side. So I've just checked The first solar panel is on the right hand side over here, so let's make sure this one goes on the right as well. And we sit that in there and we line up our white lines so it's all nice and straight. Okay, so we'll put our top clamps on now. Once again, we'll just finger tight them till we're happy with all the positionings. Okay, so now we've got both solar panels sitting on our solar bracket. Everything's finger tight. Let's go ahead now with our Allen key and we'll just do these up. Make sure they're nice and tight so the wind can't blow them off. Okay, so these are your T's. Make sure that these ones here are nice and flat and not sideways. We want to space them all correctly, so bring them all nice and flat. Make sure your solar panel's lined up with the white lines. Okay, so that's all nice and tight now. I'm going to flip the solar panel over and show you how to wire your solar panel up in series. Okay, so I'm just going to show you now how to wire your double solar panels up in series. So we grab one of the leads, the positive lead from one panel, and the negative lead from the other panel. We clip these two in together. Listen for the click. Left over is the negative on one panel and the positive on the other panel. And these two clip into the solar cable from your box. Okay, so now we've got our solar panel system completely built. We now need to grab a second pair of hands to put it up on the pole. Remembering this piece here goes inside your 75mm pole and this piece goes on the outside. We then utilise our U-bolts and that clamps to the pole with these. Okay, so now we're going to put the solar panel onto our pole. We've got our platform ladder set up here, so let's go ahead now and lift it all up and show you how to install it. So this is the part we recommend having a second set of hands to lift the solar panel right up high and put on top of the pole. So with our solar panel up, we want to make sure we put this piece inside the pole. That'll help us when we come to putting the U-bolts on. So now that's in, we can go ahead and put our U-bolts on. You good? Okay, so now we've got our U-bolts on. Pull out your trusty Landwatch shifter and we do these up. Or grab a rattle gun and a 21mm socket to speed up the process. So another thing to consider before mounting all of this gear is actually to make sure your solar panel is facing north on one of the sides. Really crucial to make sure you pick up all that arc of the sun to give yourself full charge. Alright, so we're going to go through now how to mount the box to the pole. So you want to go ahead and grab the rest of your box mounting kit. Grab the 4 nuts and washers and the 2 flat plates. So these flat plates go on the back side of the pole. And you grab each nut and washer. So now we've got our box clamped on here, we actually want to go ahead and slide it up to the top of the pole. Once again, grab that second pair of hands. As I jump up the ladder, Kieran will slide it up to me. All right, Kieran, so pass it up to me now. So I can just slide this up to the desired height. Then I can just finger tight this up again. So it stops sliding down the pole. And you grab out your Landwatch shifter again and do them up nice and tight. Okay, so now we've got our box nice and high up here. We need to connect up the solar panel. So on these solar panels, we've got positive and negative labelled. So with your solar cable, you want to run this up behind the pole. So come out nicely. That's where these cable ties will come in handy. Up to the top, and we want to clip them together, making sure positive and negative the right way around. Okay, so I've just readjusted my ladder to get to the front of the box. So these boxes are really dustproof and really sealed up nice and tight, so the keys are quite difficult to undo. So you want to put your key in. With your right hand, you want to put a bit of pressure up the top and just turn that key and open it up. Okay, so we've got our battery mounting block here. So we'll just grab that second pair of hands again to pass me the battery. Okay, so now you've got your battery in, we want to clamp it in. So this comes in the little goodie bag as well. Okay, so the battery's all clamped in. We want to connect up the battery leads. Red is positive, black is negative. Let's not get that one mixed up. Okay, so now we've got our battery connected, it's all clamped down. I can see my flashing lights coming on. We want to close up the door and jump down and see if it's working on the phone.